Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So in the world, South Korea is becoming more and more popular every day due to dramas, music, and just Korean culture in general. So in this video, we asked foreigners living here in Korea what their preconceptions were of Korea before coming to Korea. You know, things they saw online, read in an article, or heard from a friend, or saw in a drama, and how that compares to their actual experience of living here. Also, if you're currently studying English, I highly recommend you join my channel membership. Now, without further ado, let's begin.
Did you have any perceptions about Korea before you came, based on like what you've seen or heard on the media?
So before I came here, I started watching YouTube videos, and most people talk about how you will get stared in the subway, and honestly, it's a lie. I came here, I thought like the subway, people would really be staring at you because you're like a foreigner, but then the truth is everyone is staring at their phone. They're not really looking at you. Maybe that's my experience. Everyone has a different experience, but yeah, I found that to be a lie.
For me, I was really into like K-dramas. I really thought it would be more like coupley, more like fireworks, very lovey-dovey. And like, I'm not disappointed. There's a lot of cute dating places, but I thought it would be more like open. Like I found out Koreans are very conservative. I guess that's just something that really surprised me when I came.
They're like the body shape.
Like the you mean the beauty standards?
The
right?
beauty standards.
Korea
like,
does have some very strict
strong.
beauty standards, right?
They're really strong, I think. So I was a bit concerned when I came here about that, and to be honest, like I'm a smoker, so I was also afraid that it's like as a girl I thought like, okay, this is not gonna be good, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like mostly the beauty standards concern me a lot. You know, like no one wants to feel judged by their looks.
I thought that everyone here is very fashionable, very put together.
Yeah.
They all have makeups on all the time. I wasn't ready for that because I never wore makeup before I came here, basically. So I was thinking that maybe coming to Korea, I will be peer pressured into putting on makeup. I guess the people are in fact put together. Stylish is very subjective. They go to class with very proper clothes. You know, no one really goes to class in pajamas or whatever. But you know, I don't actually feel the pressure. I'm barefaced right now and it's alright. It's fine. No one's saying anything.
Not just Koreans, but just Asian people in general are a lot more fast. They do things more fast and efficiently, maybe have a little bit less patience, which I didn't understand. Like, they're also American because they live in America as well, so why do we have these perceptions about them? Right. After I came to Korea and experienced like the pali culture, everything's so fast and everyone wants you to hurry up. I understood like, at least for Koreans, I can understand why this stereotype exists.
Right.
At least for us, hiking is supposed to be relaxing or like slow and leisurely.
Right.
But in Korea, like I'll be walking and I'm like, oh my god, give me a second. And these ajumas and ajashis, all these old men and old ladies are like.
Well, I always know that, you know, students in general, they're very studious. So I thought Koreans, like in university, they're always going to be studying and like doing that sort of thing. But when I came, I was like, no one's really studying. You know, they study really hard up to a certain point, and then when they get into university, it's like a breath of fresh air. So that was a stereotype that didn't really come true.
For me, it was like maybe the politeness, because I wasn't used to bowing or being like having a difference between older people and me with the language. So that was really kind of a shock to me because I kept on talking in Panma, so informal language. So I kind of messed up a little bit, but right now I'm getting used to it and it's getting easier to know how to talk to other people.
I expected everywhere to kind of be like Songdo, kind of futuristic and modern, but I guess you do have places that are not necessarily too modern, but I still like the environment. And also with the studying thing too, I thought I'd be studying like from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. and they make up 2 a.m. to study, but really I've gotten the most sleep I've ever had in my life actually.
I thought people would speak a lot English here because, you know, Korea is a developed country and most developed countries do speak English.
Right.
So you would find a bit of English somewhere here and there, but It's kind of rare because like a lot of people don't speak English that much, and I kind of find that to be a bit difficult. But yeah, I expected people to speak much more English.
One thing that shocked me is Koreans are very much mind your own business. You know, no one really cares a ton. Like I thought, I mean, I do get some staring and some random, you know, comments and stuff being a foreigner, but for the most part, people don't really care.
I realized Koreans are very introverted. We're both from America, and there's a lot of extroverted Americans. Like when I first came, I thought there would be like some people who wouldn't mind meeting a new person. But when I came to Korea, all the like Korean students were very hesitant to talk to me, even if I made the first like step and tried to introduce myself. But after a while, they warmed up. But in the beginning, it was very difficult making friends.
It's very common in America to go up to someone and be like, oh, I like your shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, I like your outfit. Oh, I think your hair looks nice. But that's like a no-go here. Like, it's like if you were to do that, people would think that was really strange.
It's like why are you talking to me? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
With regards to like the studying, it's kind of partly true. So there are some students who are in the library all the time like me, but then there are other students who are really having a good time and traveling, so I really envy those students because I live in the library nowadays.
Would you say you've changed since you've come to Korea?
Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like even just from last year to now, if I look at pictures from back then, I'm like, wow, I really knew nothing. I was such a kid.
Yeah, I think I have, because I come from a community that's just so based on like doing things together. Like life is done in terms of community, but here in Korea everyone is private. They have their own thing going on, so I think I've become more private over the past 1 year, and doing things like online classes. You're just doing things on your own, so I've become more like independent, personal, I guess.
It was not intentional at all, but I lost some weight since I came here.
Okay.
So I didn't try. It was really lucky, and I struggled sometimes to lose weight, so I was really surprised. But it was good, to be honest.
Maybe it's all the walking, on the stairs. Even to come on campus, guys, it's not
a
easy.
lot.
So
It's a lot. It's true.
For me, I haven't changed a lot. I don't have the pressure to actually adapt myself, but still there are some things I want to try in this culture, which is so different. I don't wear makeup at all. I don't feel the pressure at all. I still dress like myself, but I realized that my style is quite similar to the Koreans with trench coat and really
lots of basics,
Exactly. That's what I used to wear, but now I feel like, isn't it a little bit too much with everyone wearing the same?
Right, now you want to stand out, right?
Exactly.
It's like, I gotta
now
be
I want to stand
different.
out a bit, but still it's me and I do my thing.
I definitely think I've become a little more conservative than I was in America in terms of my manners. I'm still always the loudest person in the room, but being an American. But I've dialed down. My fashion has changed a ton because Koreans are also very conservative in how they dress compared to America. And I think I've become more independent because it's a big move to come here by yourself and live on your own independently. So I think I've definitely matured quite a bit.
I think like more in fashion, like I was always interested in fashion, but I think like my style kind of changed a bit since I got here. I got like two different perspectives.
Two aesthetics.
Yeah,
maybe.
two aesthetics, like either cute or like more dark and like.
I was gonna say that's I see that a lot here. There's either the cute and then the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like
so,
edgy fashion type thing.
Yeah. So in here, like I'm basically those two now.
I would say I've become more adventurous. For example, drinking. You're not legal till you're 21, but here you're legal when you're Korean age 20. So I'm legal, so I've been drinking. And that's something I wouldn't do in America.
Oh, maybe don't tell your parents that.
Yeah. They already know.
Had to kind of be forced to be more extroverted. I'm still very shy and introverted, but when it comes to Koreans and like making friends, Koreans won't come up to you first. You have to make the first move.
Right.
So with that, I kind of changed that way and been more of like a social butterfly. Going back to studying, I probably studied the most now than I have in my entire life. So I've changed that way.
All right.
Clothing-wise, I feel like I've become a lot more expressive with how I dress. Like in Hawaii, we're very like casual, like flip-flops, shorts, t-shirt. But here, people are like dating up, like dressing up, like pants and layering. That's something that in Hawaii and I guess also America, it's not seen as important. But here, the way you dress is very important. So I'm definitely experiencing new things and trying new styles.
I think for me, I've become more independent because back at home, I would have never like walked on the road to go like a cafe just for 5 minutes and come back home. I would have never taken public transportation because I always go by car. So I guess I've kind of just found myself on how to live in a different space, you know, because not that I can't take the subway as yet, but I'm getting there, and you know, I buy my own groceries. So yeah, I think I'm really becoming a freer version of me, you know.
Is there anything else you would like to add about your experience in Korea, or any tip you'd like to share?
Definitely know Korean before you come.
Learn Korean, just the basics.
yes, please do.
Just the basics, I think, will help you a lot.
Honestly, if you're a foreigner coming to Korea, you'll probably be friends with other foreigners speaking your native language most of the time. You have to stay serious about learning the language at the same time. It's not just gonna happen. You have to work for it. But I think it's worth it. So, you know, if you're thinking about it, do it.
Try to learn Korean before you come to Korea. Just a bit of like, where is this place? And like, you know, common sense, direction questions, greetings and stuff like that. Try to learn that. It will help out a lot because, yeah, people do not speak English here.
Some people will speak English to you if they know English and they realize that you can't really converse.
Right.
And there's people who will try, and some people just won't try. So it's just up to you to just really know one or two words, and don't be embarrassed if they don't understand you.
Be able to accept blunt answers. Like for a lot of Koreans, especially strangers, if you mess up trying to speak Korean, they're gonna answer you very bluntly.
Yes.
So I think if you're willing to take that criticism, then you should be all set. Like, just be willing. Like, they don't mean to hurt you, but sometimes it comes off as hurtful. So just be prepared for that.
Make sure you really want to come here, and it's not because of K-pop or K-dramas or something. Like those things can attract you, but you need to actually learn about the country first and the cultural aspects of it, because the way that they function and handle things here compared to the United States is a lot different, and so there might be a lot of culture shock. Like, please don't have this image in your head that Korea is this country that is full of everyone's like a beautiful person that looks like they're sent from heaven, and that every day will be like a K-drama, and that you'll walk out your room and everything will be fine, because there will be days where it's really hard. 100% make sure that you're capable and that you're willing to put in all of the energy and effort to live here, and please respect the culture and the rules that they have here.
As a foreigner, doing something that's a part of their culture that is seen as respectful goes a long way. Like, they often are very like surprised and grateful that you know that part of their culture, and it's really gratifying when you do get that reaction from knowing part of their culture and, you know, using it. So
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Did you enjoy this video? If so, let me know in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Sean, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So when moving to a new country, it's very natural that there are some things that you have trouble getting used to. So in this video, we asked several people from all around the world living here in Seoul, South Korea, what are some things that you're having trouble getting used to? After that, we asked them about some things that they successfully got used to. This was a fun video. I think you guys are going to like it. Also, if you're currently studying English, I highly recommend you join my channel membership. Without further ado, let's begin.
Hey guys, my name is Sean and we're out here on the streets of Hongdae interviewing people from different countries. What's your names and how long have you been living in Korea so far?
My name is Zahra. I'm from Tunisia. I lived for 1 year, before Corona, but now it's just 1 week.
And I'm Khouloud, I'm from Tunisia. I've been here for 4 years now.
4 years so far, okay.
I'm Maria from Iran. It's for 6 months.
My name is Pepa and I'm from Madrid, Spain.
And my name is Patricia, and as well I'm from Madrid.
Just 1 month.
1 month?
Yeah.
Yes, the same.
Well, my name is Maël, and I'm from France, Paris. I lived in Seoul like 9 months.
For 9 months, okay.
Last year during COVID, and I just came back for holidays.
I'm Olivia. I've been living here for since the end of January, so a few months.
Okay.
Also, since the end of January, my name is Maya.
Okay. And where are you guys from?
America. Yeah,
America as well. Okay.
My name is Anaïs, and I'm from France. So I arrived in August.
6 months so far. So you've lived here a long time, certainly.
Yeah.
While you've been living here for 6 months as a foreigner, what's something that you just cannot get used to?
The hard thing in Korea is whatever we do in here, we will look like still like foreigners. Like we can't adjust with Korean people. They will always, even if we talk very good Korean, we live like Koreans. We do the same thing, but we still look like.
You'll always be a foreigner because of the way you look.
I agree with her. It's the same thing that they always look at us as foreigner, no matter how we do, you know. Especially when Corona came to Korea. So the look of the people, you know, like they think that we bring the Corona here to Korea, you know.
The whole culture is so different that it's super hard to say just one thing. Like I think in Spain, because we're, I don't know, from Spain, we're Latin, we're European, we're more open, like in general terms, when you go in a taxi or you go in a store, like, and here it's more like they're more to themselves.
I think it's all okay. There's nothing that I can't use to it.
In Spain, when you carry like some luggage, the taxi driver helps you with the luggage, put in the trunk and everything, and here they just open the trunk.
They just open the trunk for you.
And let you
put it in,
But that's okay. We like that. It's not a big deal, but that's different.
Tunisia. The weather?
Yeah.
How's the weather in Tunisia?
Koreans, I think they have 4 weather, 4 seasons, but I think it's only 2 seasons. In Tunisia, you have 4 seasons. You have spring, summer, but here it's either cold or
either cold or hot.
Yeah.
Maybe how they look at you.
How they look at you, like maybe in Western culture, if someone looks at you, it's like let's fight. Maybe
like kind of like well, not here.
Yeah, not here. Yeah. It's like kind of like the norm. It's a usual thing in Korea to stare at people.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you hang out with like Korean friends. And
why do you think that is?
I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea.
You have no idea. Maybe because we like a lot of people try and like dress the same way or look the same way, but then when they see a foreigner, it's like whoa.
Different.
Yeah, it's different.
Maybe different.
Mine is so easy. We're literally doing it right now. I'm vegetarian. It's so hard to find vegetarian food here.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, so I'm kind of screwed in that aspect, but yeah.
I think for me, it's the amount of people. Like I'm from North Carolina, it's kind of small. So even now,
are you from a small town?
Yeah, really small, like 7,000 people tops.
7,000 people. Oh my goodness.
So like there's so many people here, I can't get used to like walking with a crowd.
I think it's mostly about how in Korea everything is really like there's a lot of rules, and that you need to respect.
Strict.
Quite strict, and like for example, when you do hikings and stuff, there is like a pass, and you cannot go like outside. You cannot have your own path like through the forest. You need to follow where you are supposed to go. People don't really care about the rules in Europe. I think like even with COVID and stuff, and here you need to respect the rules because everyone does. But it's sometimes it's frustrating, I think.
You start to recognize people really easily. Like I can see random strangers and I'm like, I've seen you a few times. Just in Korea, it's so small that you kind of know everyone almost.
I really like their foods, yes.
Isn't it different from food in Iran?
It's pig.
Yeah. Pig. Pork. Okay.
Pork. Yes.
Pork. Yeah, everything with pork. Yeah.
And we don't eat pork.
What do they eat in Tunisia? What do they eat in Tunisia? How does that differ from Korean food?
Halal food. It's it's different. So we don't eat pork. We don't. But we eat spicy food. There is a lot of things like similar. But. Yeah, besides like pork, like everything is good.
I don't like seafood. So like everything with seafood.
Seafood.
Yeah. But there is a lot of other things, so it's fine.
I like Korean food.
You do?
Yes, I love Korean.
Favorite food? Number 1. 1, 2, 3, go.
I like kimchi.
Okay.
I love kimchi though.
You didn't like it at first, but when you've eaten it.
Like the spicy stuff in general. Like everything spicy. At first, I could only eat like 1 spoon, and now I don't care. I just love it. I like barbecue.
Barbecue. Okay. What kind of meat? Specific?
Beef.
I mean, Korean barbecue is good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really like it.
Which meat specifically?
I mean, pork, beef. I like everything. I tried everything, and I really like it. And when I'm going to a Korean restaurant, I try to go to one that is Korean barbecue. I really like it.
Every time.
Yeah.
Maybe the sweet food. There's so much sweet food here. It's either
really?
spicy or sweet. I can't find an in between anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
I know, like they don't have as much spicy food in like American food. Like, what's something that specific food that you can think of?
Like here, oddly enough, like fried chicken, I've always noticed it's always a little bit spicy. Even if it's
really?
just regular, it's always a little bit spicy.
Just like a tad bit spicy.
Yeah, not bad, but just enough for me to be like, oh, I noticed it.
Okay, I see. A lot of people have talked about relationships. What's one thing you cannot get used to?
Couple culture. There's everywhere you look, there's always couples. People are always in pairs of two.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel so lonely sometimes.
Oh,
you're like, wow, everyone's together but me.
Couple outfits.
Outfits.
Well, I had one girlfriend with my ex. We spent like 9 months there. Couple outfit. It was like, it's really not a thing in France. Like nothing at all. But here, like it's like then on the street, like you can see people like wearing a couple outfit.
Wearing a couple outfit.
Not a huge fan, not used to it, but that's it.
Was it embarrassing at first? Yeah.
Not embarrassing, just like feels weird.
And so, how do Korean men differ with American men?
I mean, nicer. He's holding my bag right now. So.
Would an American guy do that? No. He would not.
They always get so like, oh, I can't hold it. I'll look like a girl. But like Korean men just don't really like care as much, I've noticed. And they like being more like PDA, which is odd because in Korea people think Americans are more like open. But I've noticed Koreans are more like showy rather than Americans.
Well, they're a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, when they drink and shit, goes crazy. But it's okay. They're nice, they're respectful, and
really?
We like that.
What's one experience that you've had from a Korean guy that's, they're very nice and respectful?
I mean, when we go out, they invite us to drinks and shots and everything. And in Spain, it doesn't happen. Like, they give you one, that's it. And here it's like one and another and another.
Another.
Yeah, that's super nice. It's not like, I mean, they're not picky.
And they have like a lot of conversation with you, and they are interested in what are you doing here and that stuff. So they are so nice.
Okay.
I didn't really date a Korean guy, but I think like the cheesy stuff. I think that
cheesy stuff.
And I think that's why I could not date a Korean guy. I think that in Europe we are really straightforward about what we want. For example, if I just want to sleep with someone, I can say it and it's not a problem.
Oh.
But like Korean guys,
it's more open-minded in France. You're trying to say, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's something that you've gotten used to? What's something that you've adjusted to successfully while you lived here?
The coffee shops.
The coffee shops, okay.
I love
Why the coffee shop?
Because in Spain, you don't see as many coffee shops, of course, but I really like to go there and work and meet new people that is working there. In Spain, it doesn't happen. They just go to the office, your college, wherever, and they work there. But here it's like you go to a coffee shop, you order a coffee, of course, and you meet new people that is working there, and you can spend the whole day there and no one is gonna say anything.
Public transport.
Public transportation. It's very, convenient.
It's really convenient. It's really fast. There is never any issue. In France, there is always strikes. There are always technical issues.
Yeah.
It's like supposed to be 20 minutes, but in fact, it would take like 50. So, but here it's like so easy.
Maybe transportation.
Transportation.
Yeah, because where I go to school, we have really bad buses, and you need a car to get places. But here, it's so nice because bus.
Goes anywhere.
So nice. It's so nice.
You want to go to Busan? Okay, buy a ticket.
Exactly. We literally did that.
For me, I think it's just being able to go anywhere at any time. Like there's so much to do. You never don't have anything to do. But where I live, like after like 10 o'clock, you can't do anything.
Something I love here, it's like the safety.
The safety, okay.
For example, I can have my phone on the table in the street. I don't mind. Like in France, you cannot do this, or in the subway, you're always checking about your stuff. And here, like this is a reason why I could stay here for like the next years. It's it's so less stressful.
Like you just have no issue. I can put this helmet on the street there, like and like go around like for 10 minutes. I'll come back, it will still be there.
Still there.
In France, I don't even do 30 meters. Like someone would have just like take it, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah. And for example, when you order something, so you just put it in front of your door, and like that will stay for like that can stay like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
No one will touch it.
Exactly.
No one.
Some people will turn it into the police station, and then they'll report that someone lost it. Yeah.
But like in France,
bye bye. It's mine now.
It's gone. It's gone, yeah.
In America, you can't really go out as much. Like it's more like, oh, going out on the weekends is the thing. But here, you can go out at any point.
Anytime.
And it's not even just like drinking or like partying. You can literally just like, oh, we're gonna go like a few hours away from Seoul today. Does anyone want to join? Like you can just do that.
You can just do that.
Yeah.
I think all of these things that are here, I kind of love it.
We still love Korea. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing?
Because we love it. Anyway.
What's your favorite thing about here?
Like here, like for example, it's really safe. We can go out whenever we want. Like there's very beautiful places. People are nice too. So yeah, I love Korea.
What do you guys have to say about people who are visiting Korea?
Do it. Just like be respectful of the culture and have a good time.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. There's a lot to do here, so research beforehand and you can make a lot out of your experience.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get used to Korea. Yeah, it's
lots of stuff to do.
Yeah, and to live here, I think it's really nice. Like not only tourism. Like some countries are great for only tourism. Korea, it's a nice country to live.
Yeah, living and tourism as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad to be here. Like that's such a beautiful country, and for people that are watching you, just come and visit by yourself.
Come on.
Yeah, come on, guys. No,
Alright, give me a thumbs up.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Did you enjoy this video? If so, let me know in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Sean, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So recently, it was confirmed that Elon Musk will buy Twitter for around $44 billion USD. This is very controversial. Some people think that Twitter will be ruined. Many are threatening to leave the platform. I think it's amazing. I know Twitter isn't super popular in Korea the same way YouTube or Instagram is, but it's really popular in other countries in the world. Currently, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram are flooded with bots and spam, especially if you're following the topics of cryptocurrency and investing or NFTs like I am. There are so many scams and spam in the YouTube comments and Twitter. It's crazy. And as a YouTube creator and someone who watches tons of YouTube and uses Twitter a lot, it feels like YouTube and Twitter aren't doing anything about it. There are so many fake profiles of people imitating actual influencers, trying to scam people out of money. It's really sad when people lose money like this. That's why I'm such a fan of Elon Musk buying Twitter, because one of the first things he said is that he wants to clean up all the spam and scammers. Another thing too is the idea of free speech. One of the main values that Americans hold very highly is free speech. And I think South Koreans are very similar in this regard. You can see this by the amount of peaceful protests that South Koreans organize. You can't really say that about China or North Korea, right? So free speech means giving people who you disagree with a platform to speak. There's a really good saying, and that's sunlight is the best disinfectant. What does that mean? It means that if you test ideas out by speaking them aloud to many people, the good ideas will naturally stick and the bad ideas will naturally fall away. I think fostering this kind of free speech and open dialogue and talking with people who you disagree with and not hating them is what we need more of in this world. We need to learn how to have a dialogue and communicate peacefully with people we don't agree with. Why am I saying this? Because Twitter is notorious for banning and shadow banning people. I'm not a massive fan of Donald Trump, but I'm also not a fan of just following everyone and just hating him for no reason. Of course, he's said and done some stupid things, but how can you ban Donald Trump and leave Vladimir Putin unbanned on Twitter? That makes no sense to me. There are many more cases of two different people on Twitter saying very similar things and one person getting banned and one person not getting banned at all. To me, this is not fair and this is not free speech. It's banning people you disagree with. And this is what Elon Musk said recently. I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means. So yeah, with the rise of cancel culture in the past few years, the death of nuance, and the increasing hatred and polarization between the left and the right, I think this is a step in the right direction, and I'll be the first to admit it if Elon Musk doesn't deliver on his promises. I'm so curious though, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a good thing, or do you think that one person shouldn't have all of this power? How does this relate to Korean society? Please let me know in the comments. Also, if you're currently studying English, I'm working on a Class 101 course right now. It's a 26 lesson course with quizzes, supplementary material, and full scripts for every lesson. I put a lot of effort into this and I think it's going to help a lot of people. Click the link in the description for a free sample. Alright everyone, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So fun, funny, and interesting. Many English learners think these words simply mean 재밌다, 웃기다, and 흥미롭다. But native English speakers actually use these words differently in English than you would in Korean. If you want to sound more like a native speaker and less like an English learner, this is the perfect lesson for you. Also, this lesson is a sample from a Class 101 course that I'm designing. The class launches on May 11th, and you can sign up now with the link in the description for the early bird special. I hope you like this free sample. Without further ado, let's begin. 안녕하세요 여러분. Today I'm going to give you a masterclass on fun versus funny versus interesting. This will really level up your English. So, to give you basic definitions in English, fun is something that brings you joy, a fun game, a fun experience. Funny is something that makes you laugh, a funny comedy movie, a funny joke, a funny person. I hear a lot of English learners confuse fun and funny. If you say, this game is funny, when you're trying to say, this game is fun, it's going to sound very awkward to native English speakers. Lastly, interesting is something that is mentally stimulating, which opens your mind to something new or something you didn't expect. An interesting book, an interesting idea, an interesting outcome. So, can you see the difference between these three? You're a fun person. You're a funny person. You're an interesting person. When speaking Korean, you will often hear the word 재밌다, 재밌는 사람, 재밌는 게임, 재밌는 것. So in Korean, you can use the word 재밌다 in many ways. 이 영화가 재밌네. 야, 재밌는 얘기 해줄까? ዣ파블로 영어 수업은 재밌어요. But the most common translation of 재밌다 to English is fun. However, if you always try to translate 재밌다 to fun, you're going to get some very unnatural sentences. In English, we don't really use the word fun as often as Koreans do when they say 재밌다. And when we do use the word fun, we often use it in different ways. First, let's look at more natural ways to translate 재밌다 to English. Much of the time, instead of fun, we just say good or great. 재밌는 수업. You could say a fun class, but we often just say a good class or a great class. 재밌는 사람. We often just say a cool person. You could call someone fun, but we don't really say it that often. We usually just say cool person or awesome. You're awesome. 재밌는 영화. We just say a good or great movie or an interesting movie. That's more natural than a fun movie. 재밌는 파티. You could say a fun party, and that's not wrong, but a lot of the time we just say a good party or a great party. 재밌는 이야기. We wouldn't say fun story. We would say a good story or a great story or an interesting story, but not fun. Lastly, we have 재밌는 game. You could say a fun game, and that does make sense. When you say it's a fun game, you're trying to tell someone that it's not boring, it's a fun thing. But if you say it's a good game, you mean it's like well balanced, it's fun, it's just a well-designed game. Okay, so if we can just use good instead of fun much of the time, when do we actually use the word fun? So we use it as an adjective sometimes. This is a really fun game. We had a fun day at the zoo. Again, you could say good or great. We had a great day at the zoo. This is a great game. But fun is also natural in these situations. So oftentimes we use fun as a noun. Surfing at the beach is good, clean fun. I need some more fun and excitement in my life. Okay, so that's pretty basic. Now, let's look at some other ways that we use the word fun. First, you can say make fun of someone or something, which means to tease them. Dad, John is making fun of me. Ben, don't make fun of your brother. You can say have fun, which means to experience a joyful time. Hey John, how was Jeju? Did you have fun? Yeah, it was so amazing. Here's another example. Have fun with your new bike, Chris. Thanks, Dad. Lastly, you can say that someone or something is no fun, which means that it's ruining the good vibe. It's kind of like 노잼 in Korean. Hey, wanna get another drink? Sorry, but I have to get home before 10. I gotta wake up early tomorrow. Ah, you're no fun. Let's listen again for some more practice. Dad, John is making fun of me. Hey John, how was Jeju? Did you have fun? Have fun with your new bike, Chris. Ah, you're no fun. Now, let's move on to funny. As I said before, much of the time, funny just means 웃기다, or something that makes you laugh. This movie is so funny. However, we use the word funny in other ways as well. If you hear or see something that's weird or out of the ordinary, you can say, that's funny, which means something is not right. Yesterday, I lent John $1,000 to help him pay his rent. That's funny. He just called me and asked me for $1,000. Going along with this, you can say that something looks funny, someone is acting funny, or to feel funny. They all mean weird and not normal. Let's look at some examples. Hey, do you like my new shoes? Can I be honest? The design looks a little funny. Here's another example. Hey, I don't trust John. He's acting funny. I totally agree. He seems like he's hiding something from us. And lastly, how was the sandwich? It was great, but I feel a little funny. I hope you didn't put any peanut butter in the sandwich. I'm allergic to peanuts. Oh yeah, I know that. Don't worry, I didn't. One bonus way that native speakers often use funny that I want to share with you guys is when you say, funny you should ask, or funny you should say that. It means, this is an interesting coincidence that you're saying this to me now or asking me this now. We use this when responding to people. Let's take a look at an example. Hey Sean, have you ever been to Philadelphia? That's funny you should ask. I'm actually from Philadelphia. Here's another example. I really like John Stark's new film. It's funny you should say that. I was actually in John Stark's new film as an extra. Let's listen one more time for some more practice. That's funny. He just called me and asked me for $1,000. Can I be honest? The design looks a little funny. It was great, but I feel a little funny. I hope you didn't put any peanut butter in the sandwich. I'm allergic to peanuts. That's funny you should ask. I'm actually from Philadelphia. Alright, so lastly we have interesting. Interesting is something that holds your attention or arouses interest. You can think of it as something that is mentally stimulating. This documentary is so interesting. I'm learning so much about the Amazon rainforest. This is the most basic meaning of the word. The other way we use interesting is when reacting to someone. It's a way to express that something you're hearing or seeing is out of the ordinary or just something you didn't expect. In Korean, it's kind of like 그렇구나. Did you know that real estate in Wakanda is the cheapest it's been in 10 years? Now is a good time to get a new house. Interesting. Thanks for letting me know. Let's look at another example. John just called me to say that he's really sick and he can't come to work today. That's interesting. I saw him this morning and he seemed fine. You can see that it's kind of similar to the way we use funny or weird. Let's listen one more time for some more practice. Interesting. Thanks for letting me know. That's interesting. I saw him this morning and he seemed fine. Alright, I hope you guys learned a lot. Definitely re-watch this lesson if you're confused about something or you didn't get everything. I know I gave you a lot of stuff to remember, but I think you can do it. Keep up the good work and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. As I said before, I'm designing a course on Class 101 with 26 lessons, including quizzes, supplementary notes for every lesson, and full scripts for every lesson. I put a lot of effort into this course, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. Check the description for the early bird special. Once again, I'm Sean, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So just like in any country, South Korea has social issues that a lot of people are talking about. Whether it be about the recent election or the new president or the generational difference or the birth rate, there's always something for Koreans to talk about. But it's interesting to see what an outsider's perspective on the main issues in Korea might be. So we asked people living here in Korea what they are observing to be the main issues that people are talking about. This is a very interesting video and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Also, if you're currently studying English, I highly recommend you join my channel membership. Now, without further ado, let's begin.
Hey guys, my name is Sean and we're out here on the streets of Hongdae today interviewing foreigners.
Hello.
So what are your guys' names and where are you from?
My name is Fabian and I'm from Germany. And my name is Marie Claire and I'm also from Germany.
Okay, and how long have you guys been in Korea so far?
3 days. I arrived like 3 days ago. I'm still jet lagged. I arrived here beginning of February.
First impressions so far?
It's amazing.
It's amazing. What is?
Very laid back, great atmosphere, you know, you just... Good vibes all around, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Great clothing style, friendly people, good food, everything about it is great.
What do you think are some big social problems here in Korea that you've heard about, maybe from some other places?
Yeah, I mean, you had the presidential election just, I think, like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, really? You've heard about that?
Yeah, I'm really interested in that. I'm politics, so I read that the new president, I don't really know his name, forgot his name, he wants to abolish like the women's ministry, and I feel like there's like a conflict between the genders in Korea. I feel like I've heard that, like there are like many...
Like for example?
I feel like many men are like, oh, feminism is like ruining women, and then the women are like, you know, the men are not treating us like as equals. So I feel like that's like a current topic, I guess, in Korea. That's what I heard of. I feel like it's not, I don't know what your opinion is, I feel like it's not that big of a topic.
Let's hear from a girl, yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I agree totally with him. Like in Germany, it's not that, like, you know, of a topic. I mean, it is, but here it's more maybe prominent. And
so what do you think is hard for Koreans nowadays? What are some social problems for Korea?
I feel like it's just that school is like super tough in Korea, definitely. Right? Yeah. Because I feel like in Germany you just go to school and then after it's finished, you know, latest at 4 p.m. then you're finished. Yeah, right? a lot of more free time, you know. Free time, but in Korea you have like the evening schools. Yeah. So the students go study like until like 9, 10 p.m. And then they go home and next day, you know, they have to get up at 6 and study again all day. Because like there's so much emphasis on the university entrance exam, and that's like this one single day where you take I forgot the name, you probably know the
Sunung.
Yeah, the Sunung. You know, that's like one of the most important days. I hear they like ground flights during that day, so the students can like pass the listening test. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's you know, and we don't really have something like that, right? So
the stress about being the best, you know, being perfect. Yeah.
A lot of competition, very like super high pressure. I feel like.
How about not even school? What are some other things that are, you know, give Koreans stress to be perfect?
She just mentioned that, you know, Koreans are always like very well dressed, and I mean, I feel like, you know, like appearance is very important in Korea. I feel like, you know, having like the nicest clothes, of course, plastic surgery, looking nice in your face, having like the double eyelid and stuff like that. Yeah, that's like a classic. A lot of advertisement on the street, like with an exact type of how the women and the men should look like. You know, I think people feel they have to follow that stereotype. We've been to Busan, for example, and we feel like there the vibe is like more laid back. You know, people rather dress how they want. They
express themselves more freely, and here in Seoul we have the kind of stereotype of, you know, how the woman should look like, how the men dress, and I feel many Koreans have the feeling they should be like that and they should, you know, follow that type.
Is there a beauty standard in like Germany? Or?
One thing I think is very different from, but it's Asia in general and Europe in general, that of course darker skin in Europe is more attractive, I would say.
Really? Tan skin.
You know, in summer, of course.
Everybody wants to get tanned, and I feel like but like in Korea, I feel like, or in Asia in general, it's like an Asian thing, right? You want to be as like white as possible. So if you get tanned, that's like a bad thing. I feel like that's like a really big difference. But
and also in Germany there have been many movements of, you know, expressing yourself how you are and showing yourself what you're comfortable in, what you like. So people set a lot of like emphasis on the individualism, like how you want to be, you know, by yourself, how you are comfortable, and not so much following a stereotype and a trend. Exactly.
I see. So you think it's more strict in Korea overall?
I think so, yes.
How's your time here in Korea so far?
I mean, only 3 days. I'm jet lagged as hell, but I had fun so far, so really good time.
Good thumbs up? Yeah?
Yes.
You can try it away. What's your guys' names and where are you from?
I'm Alessia Franco and I'm from Italy. I'm Ana Hernandez and I'm from Venezuela.
And how long have you lived here in Korea so far?
I've lived here for 7 years.
7 years.
A year and a half.
You guys have lived here certainly a long time, I see.
I've heard complaints from other Koreans about the sexism going on in Korea. For example, like a lot of like toxic masculinity just coming from like the outside.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if that's like as much now. I heard about it happening more before.
I mean, when we're just passing around Hongdae, sometimes there's just gonna be like some unwanted comments or like.
Really? For example, what if someone following you? Really? So people have stalked you before?
Yeah, basically.
My goodness. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just be like walking through and someone will just like walk by me, put their arm around me and like pull me in, and I'm
Happens
like
a lot.
Like near the clubs and the bars?
Near there, yeah.
Oh, I see.
But at night, I feel like it happens like almost anywhere, but more towards that area.
Yeah, obviously, because there's like more drunk people around there, so.
You have any Korean friends?
Yeah, we have some Korean.
What do they say that's like hard for them to live here?
We have more like international kind of Korean friends, so if they complain about something, it's usually like part of the Western like view that they kind of wish that more Koreans would bring in. Like at the start of COVID, when there weren't many cases, they were like, when they closed off to only 2 people being allowed outside at the time, they'd complain about how the government wouldn't open up more about it.
So being strict is one thing that you think, How is it in Venezuela or other countries that you've been to? How does it compare to here?
It's a mess, so I don't know if I can really compare it. But in the US, it's very liberal. So, yeah, I don't know.
If you're going, just do whatever you want, don't wear a mask.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's the best way either, because like it also brings in a lot of problems, but...
Okay, so you can kind of appreciate the strict way of life here, in a way.
I feel like it's like to a certain point though, because I feel like it's too strict sometimes here.
When does it get too strict? Give me like an example of something you hate of getting too strict.
Like for example, like at the beginning of COVID when there weren't that many cases, and it was just like allowed 2 people outside, and then now when there's so many more, like they're about to...
Everyone's going around.
Saying all those rules, it just doesn't really make sense.
Everyone's out here at the park, drinking at night, no masks.
Exactly. At one point, I think it's a really good quality though, because when it has things like the mask mandate, there's not many complaints and people just kind of go with it and like respect each other, which is something I think a lot of other countries are also missing.
I see.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know that in Italy, for example, masks are optional, I'm pretty sure. And most people don't wear them, obviously, outside. No.
Barely wants to wear a mask,
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like wearing masks does help.
Yeah.
So, like, the respect for other people that maybe don't want to be around people that don't have masks on.
I see.
I guess.
So respect about each other, that's a good social aspect of it. Anything else to say about the topic?
That's all. Yeah.
That's all?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Give me a thumbs up and we'll get you guys on your way. Thank you. What's your guys' names and where are you from?
My name is Lala. I'm from Sweden. And my name is Isabel and I'm from Sweden too. I think you're viewed as a failure if you don't do well in either school or your work.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I at least that's what I've heard. They work really hard and studying really hard and many hours a day. Disappointed when they don't get the job they want. Yeah. That's really like everyone wants a job, right? So everyone can get it.
Everyone wants to go in that big, Samsung or like the big company.
Yeah, big company. So I think that's a major thing. I think at least
societal pressure pressure to do good.
Yeah, basically.
How is it in Sweden? What do people, do they have the same thing? Oh, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor. Do they have that kind of, you know, pressure?
Yeah, I mean, not pressure really. I think Sweden is a good country when it comes to like, I feel like there's job for literally everyone.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel like we're not those people that competitive, at least when it comes to, you know, work in general. So
in general?
Yeah, just in general speaking. Yeah. We haven't been here so long.
Right, I see.
So it's we're still like getting used.
How long are you here for so far?
Till beginning of July.
Beginning of July.
Oh, beautiful country. Like such a beautiful country. So,
All right, thank you for coming out. Give me a thumbs up and get you guys on your way. What's your guys' names and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Nisa. I'm from France.
My name is Manon. I'm from Belgium. Here you have like something called white horse. So white horse is like basically have sex with a white girl or like a foreigner girl, and it's a big thing here. So Korean guy want to try once, and when you try, well, you did a white horse. So a lot of guys are like she said, they just come to you and they think that you will go to an hotel with him. They just but sometimes they act like really nicely and they don't show it directly. So you think they're really being genuine when actually all they want is
actually like they have a different, you know, a different purpose of.
But some guys are nice.
Some guys are nice, yeah.
Good guys are very, very shy at first, but the guys who want, you know, what they want, they go.
What is this?
Yes, no, but what they want, they know what they want.
And so maybe a big societal problem is lack of respect for women sometimes.
Yes.
And so how that's
not everyone, not everywhere. Just be careful. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's something that a foreigner can experience. But you guys have Korean friends here?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
And so what do you think are some social issues or problems that Koreans are experiencing here in Korea? Why are Koreans having such a difficult time living in Korea? What are some problems or like?
There is a lot of competition here. Like if you're not the best, who are you? For real.
Like they cannot really express their feeling a lot. They keep a lot to themselves. So that's why they like to go drinking because because they can just talk with their friends and they probably forget
about like the stress.
They are so stressful that a lot of work to do. Like I know in France they are very lazy for real. Like everyone is very lazy, so they don't have a lot of competition. But in Korea there is a lot of competition. If you are not the best, you are nothing.
Really?
So yes.
In what way do you have to be the best, for example?
Work, even in artists like K-pop idols.
You also have like to always be the prettiest and the skinniest, because here it's so hard to find, like you can find small and medium like clothes in the random shops. If you want large, you have to go to a special shop. Like it's so hard to find large
clothes.
So
everyone's so skinny.
Everyone's so skinny, and you have the pressure. Like you cannot be more than a medium because
in France I am skinny for French people, but here I am.
In Korea,
I am not skinny.
Really? I don't think so.
Yes.
No.
That's it. But it's a safe country. It's safe.
Korea is really fun. Come here.
Thumbs up.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Did you enjoy this video? If so, let me know in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Sean, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Think about Asian people. Do you think you find Asian men attractive as well?
They're just attractive. You're just attractive, you're attractive.
I don't know, it's just very confusing, especially now with the mask. A lot of people seem attractive, but then they're not.
What?
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So, what countries around the world have the most attractive people? Here in Seoul, we asked people from several different countries this very question. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you're currently studying English, I highly recommend you join my channel membership. Now, without further ado, let's begin.
Hey guys, my name is Sean and we're out here in Hongdae today interviewing foreigners. Where are you from and how long have you been in Korea?
Hi, I'm Donna and I'm from Bulgaria. It's been over 5 years. I'm doing my undergraduate degree at the moment.
I'm Mikey, I'm from San Diego.
I'm Luca, I'm from Texas.
I'm Claire, I'm from France.
I'm from Spain and I've been here in Korea for about 2 months.
2 months. In your guys' thoughts, what country or countries around the world have the most physically attractive people in your thoughts?
I don't know, maybe I'm gonna go for France because I didn't travel a lot in my life.
Really?
So it's like my first time traveling alone. Korean people are really attractive. I don't know. Like,
what makes Korean people so attractive? Now that you've been here for 2 days, what do you think?
Everybody is well looking, you know, is well dressed.
I don't think I have a specific taste.
Yeah.
America's coming to mind just because there's so many different people in America.
I mean, I think like Russia, for example, is very popular with like...
Russia?
I know that a lot of people say that Russian girls are the prettiest.
Why do they say they're the prettiest?
Because there's like the white girl standard, like blonde and blue eye.
I'm not biased or anything, but I gotta say Korea, you know.
I would say Korea also.
Korea is also.
I feel like they also care like a lot about their looks and stuff. And this man right here, he kind of cares.
I think style has a lot to do with it. Obviously, people in Korea have really nice style, which is nice. Yeah. In America too.
I would say Brazilians. I like the darker features, dark hair, the light eyes.
Oh, okay.
Well, looks-wise, Brazilians, but I feel like I've seen a lot of Korean guys that I like their style more. So, like, style-wise, Korean guys, but, like, I don't know. I like everybody.
Yeah. I think that we can find beauty everywhere.
Yeah.
Like in every face, in every country, that beautiful men and women. And I think that actually if you're a nice person inside, it will reflect on your face.
I could say the States because they're just people from all over the place, like different cultures.
It really depends on like everyone's perception, but like for example, I like blonde blue-eyed people, so I'd say like maybe Russia.
Russia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd say like you know, like Russian people, they're like very pretty and stuff, you know, in general.
You got that kind of manly.
Yeah, I guess, and like blonde blue eyes, you know, or like even like, you know, like Australians, you know, like
Australians
as well.
I mean, Swedish as well.
Yeah, Swedish, yeah.
How do you guys think about Asian people? Do you think you find Asian men attractive as well?
Asian men, well, they are very special. They're different.
I mean, they are. It depends really on the person, right?
I don't know. It's just very confusing, especially now with the mask. A lot of people seem attractive, but then they're not.
What?
Yeah. So it's just like very confusing sometimes, you know.
Is there like some specific Asian actor that you can think of, like, oh, he's really attractive?
Kang Han-er. I think he's really cute.
The first one that comes to mind is he's Korean American. His name's Steven Yeun.
Steven Yeun.
Yeah.
Oh, in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love him.
Right.
There is this guy, I think he was in 13 Reasons Why. He's Asian. He's actually American, but like he's like Asian.
He's Asian.
Yeah, Ross Butler. I think that's his name. He's like Asian American. I find him very attractive.
I don't really know a lot of Korean actors.
Squid Game, I don't know her name. But
That girl from Squid Game, okay. Oh, the one with the freckles and oh, okay.
she's bad, yeah.
She's bad.
She's really pretty, yeah.
Kim Taehyung.
Kim Taehyung. Is that where's that? BTS. Okay.
Yeah.
BTS.
Yeah, I don't know. You know that one Korean drama? It's Nevertheless. The main guy.
I think I've heard of it before.
Yeah, the main guy.
Okay.
He's attractive.
We googled the most attractive women and men from around the world, and the top 5 countries were: number 5, India; number 4, Spain; number 3, of course, the USA; number 2, Italy; and what do you think number 1 would be?
I feel like Australia. I feel like a lot of people. I don't know why.
Maybe the Hemsworth brothers are from there.
Sweden, maybe.
Honestly, I have no idea, but maybe like northern European people.
Northern European, okay.
Yeah, like,
I think somewhere in like Europe. I don't know. I think people are attracted to like blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Germany.
You say the same thing?
Yeah.
I mean, with like this Korean wave and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if people ranked Korea as
Oh, really? Korea. Number 1 actually came out as Turkey.
Okay. Turkey. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
What makes sense about Turkey, guys?
I've just seen attractive people from Turkey.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have friends back home from Turkey, so.
Would never guess.
Would never
guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know what goes on in Turkey.
Okay. I mean, I could see that some of them, they have like green eyes and stuff like that, and like, you know, like very tan skin. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Turkey. Yeah. Great. Well, I've never been there, so I can tell you, but okay.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
How about for women?
I have a lot of female Turkish friends. They're really pretty, but like I couldn't generalize. I don't know enough. Yeah.
for women, it actually came as Ukraine.
Yeah, Ukraine, I wouldn't be surprised. Right. Yeah.
And, like, away from appearance, which country do you think has the most attractive language, you would say?
I really like Italian lately.
Italian.
I think Italian sounds very sweet and like very, I don't know, it's just like romantic, sexy, I would say.
I think Spanish sounds really nice.
Spanish, why is that?
I don't know, it's just like flowy, you know?
Oh, Spanish. Spanish is the love language. Like their music is just, I don't know.
I would say Japanese.
Japanese?
Yeah. I don't know, I think the language is just like really pretty. It flows really well. I've watched like anime shows where it's in Japanese and I think it just sounds really good.
Italian or French.
Oh.
Like Italian.
Very romantic language.
Yeah.
I would say French.
French?
A lot. The accent's really.
The French accent.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a, you know, romantic kind of.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I'm biased because I'm learning Korean.
Yes.
So I think my answer is Korean.
Oh, why is that?
I only speak English and a little bit of Korean. American English, I don't think it sounds that pretty.
I like Spanish.
Like Spanish.
I think Spanish is very pretty.
Romantic, right?
Very romantic, yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Once again, I'm Sean. Did you guys enjoy this video? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I will see you in the next video. Bye.